Hello, and welcome to Girl Scouts of the Commonwealth of Virginia's Daisy Program Basics Training. Before we begin, we want to say thank you, not only for participating in training today, but for saying yes to the opportunity to become a troop leader and for everything you have done and will do for girls in your community. In this training, we will cover the basics of our program, which we call the Girl Scout Leadership Experience, the National Program Portfolio, including badges, petals, leaves, and journeys, information and tips for working with Daisies, advice for structuring your troop meetings, and guidelines for field trips. You won't learn every detail about the Daisy program today. There are many opportunities and choices in Girl Scouts. Today, we'll ensure you know some of the basics and have the resources you need to get started. The Daisy Program Basics Participant Guide PDF can be viewed, downloaded, or printed from the online training information page. We've included the content from each of the pages in the slides as well. After you've finished watching the video, you'll need to submit the training completion form. The link is found on the online training information page near this video. This is an important step. Completing this training is a requirement for troop leaders, and you must submit the form in order for your training experience to be recognized. In the training completion form, we'll ask you to answer 3 questions. What's one thing you're most excited about for the girls in your troop to experience in Daisies? What's one thing that you learned in the training that you didn't know before watching the training video? What follow-up questions do you have about your next steps or about Girl Scouts in general? We'll also ask you to think about each of the concepts we discuss and rate your understanding and confidence level in each topic. Don't worry, it's not anything like a college exam. We just want to be sure you participated meaningfully in the training and you have the resources you need to get started with your troop. A staff member will follow up to respond to any questions you have. Now that we've covered all the logistics, let's jump into the training. Here you'll find an overview of the Girl Scout leadership experience. Let's talk briefly about each piece of this diagram. But don't worry, each of these are already infused into the tools and activity plans you'll be using, all while having fun with the girls. Let's start at the bottom and work our way up. Our mission is our ultimate goal over time. It's that girls will lead with courage, confidence, and character to make the world a better place. That's a big goal. So how do we get there? Here you see our 5 outcomes. These are the benefits girls will gain from their experience. When added together, the 5 outcomes lead us to our ultimate goal or our mission. They are strong sense of self, positive values, challenge seeking, healthy relationships, and community problem solving. These are still pretty lofty goals. Let's break them down even further to what we do with girls in the program. On the left, you see our 3 keys to leadership: discover, connect, and take action. These are what girls do no matter what skill or topic they're learning. Discover means that girls are trying something new or learning something about themselves or their world. Connect can mean that girls are connecting with others, connecting with resources in their community, or even connecting a concept they learned at last week's troop meeting with something they're experiencing today. Take action means that girls put together all their knowledge and resources and take action to make the world a better place. Next are our 3 processes. This is how we do things in Girl Scouts and how leaders support girls' learning. They are girl-led, learning by doing, and cooperative learning. We'll discuss each of these in more detail later in this training. And on the right, you see our 4 program pillars. This is what girls do and the skills that they gain. They include life skills, outdoors, entrepreneurship, and STEM, which stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. Take a moment to think about, if you had to pick one thing from this page that excites you most about the Girl Scout experience for your Daisies, what would you pick and why? Welcome to Daisies. Daisies is such an exciting time. Girls in kindergarten and 1st grade are experiencing their first steps in the Girl Scout leadership experience. They're learning the customs and traditions of being a Girl Scout, practicing the Girl Scout law as they earn their petals, and beginning to give back to their community through community service. It's also an exciting time for troop leaders and parents who have the opportunity to learn about Girl Scouts right alongside the girls. There's plenty of chances for quality time spent together, lots of firsts, and some memorable experiences. Let's spend a few minutes going over the basics. Daisies wear a blue vest or tunic with their basic pins and insignia, and add any badges, petals, or journey awards they earn throughout the year to the front of the uniform. Fun patches are added to the back. Fun patches are given for participation in events such as cookie booths, museum visits, parades, and more. Uniforms, insignia, and more can be purchased from the GSCV shop at our Richmond headquarters or online at girlscoutshop.com. So what can Daisies earn to display on their uniform? First are petals. Each of the 10 Daisy petals represents one line of the Girl Scout law. The Daisy Center is earned once the girls learn the Girl Scout promise. For each of your troop meetings, there is an interactive story to read and 3 activities to complete. The story introduces a new flower friend and the theme for one line of the law. Petal story packets can be found in the Girl's Guide to Girl Scouting, which we'll look at in just a minute, or the information can be found online on the Volunteer Toolkit. Petals focus on character development and show girls the values that are important to Girl Scouts. There are also Daisy Leaves, which represent the financial literacy and cookie business programs. Girls may earn these at any time during Daisies. Badges are also available for mechanical engineering, robotics, citizenship, coding, space science, and camping. Leaves and badges focus on skill development and give girls the opportunity to learn and practice a specific skill. Journeys focus on leadership development. Journeys guide girls through all 3 of the keys to leadership: discover, connect, and take action, by focusing on one broad global issue or theme. The girls discover the issue and problems, connect it to their lives, and take action to address the issue and make a difference. Different from how badges and petals can be completed in 1 or 2 troop meetings, a journey will weave through multiple troop meetings, maybe even an entire year, as girls continue to learn about the broader subject. 3 of the journeys are available in hard copy book format, with both an adult guide and a girl activity book. 7 journeys are available to choose from on the Volunteer Toolkit in a digital format. Each journey culminates in a take action project, in which girls use what they've learned throughout the journey to create positive change in their community in a way that addresses the root cause of an issue and educates others. Sustainability of the project and addressing a root cause are what makes the Take Action project different from a community service project, which girls also love. You'll find more information about the differences between community service and Take Action in your participant guide. Other awards include the My Promise, My Faith Award, Safety Award, Summit Award for girls that complete at least 3 journeys as a Daisy, and more on the Volunteer Toolkit. Let's take a look at some of the resources available to you. We've already mentioned each of these earlier in the training, but now you can see the visual. Let's start with the Girl's Guide to Girl Scouting. We recommend that each troop has at least 1 binder for the troop to share as a reference, but a binder for each girl is best. It's designed for girls to use. The front section is the handbook, which gives an overview and introduction to Girl Scout Daisies. It also contains information to earn petals, leaves, and other awards. Activity details and completion requirements for petals, leaves, and badges are also available in your meeting plans in the Volunteer Toolkit. You've already covered information about the Volunteer Toolkit and how to access it during your Troop Basics training, so we won't go into a lot of detail in this training. In addition to the journeys located in the Volunteer Toolkit that we've already discussed, you can also find Daisy badge requirements for things like the Robotics Badge Series, Mechanical Engineering Badge Series, Good Neighbor Badge, Coding for Good, Space Science, and more. There's also a more detailed video tutorial available that we highly recommend if you haven't checked it out already. A video tutorial is helpful because you can pause the video to explore in the Volunteer Toolkit and continue when you're ready. All Daisy journeys are in the Volunteer Toolkit, but 3 of those are also available in book form, with both a girl and adult guide. You can see the covers of the girl activity books pictured here. Between petals, journeys, badges, and other awards, you might be thinking, where do we start? Along with the girls in your troop, you have the freedom to choose what you pursue and when, and you certainly don't have to do it all. If you're looking for guidance, the Volunteer Toolkit has several year plans with popular award combinations that you can choose to outline your entire year with meeting content. These plans can be edited to reflect the girls' choices. Here you'll see an overview of each of the pre-populated meeting plans available in the Volunteer Toolkit, along with which journey awards and badges the girls will earn within. This is probably difficult to read right now on the screen, but you'll have access to the full chart in your downloadable participant guide, so you can review it closer when you and the girls are ready to make decisions about how you'd like to spend your time in the troop. As adults and parents, we are accustomed to being in control of every situation. But there are so many benefits to letting girls, yes, even kindergartners, take the lead in a structured, safe environment. Let's review some concepts that will help you feel comfortable letting girls lead. If you remember from our first diagram today, the three processes are how we do things in Girl Scouts. Let's go over a quick review of each process. Girl-led means girls help make choices about what they will do in Girl Scouts. For Daisies, you and your co-leaders might provide 5 options for an upcoming field trip, and girls will discuss and vote. Or it might be as simple as letting a girl choose what color string she'd like for her name tag. Anytime girls are making individual or group decisions, it's girl-led. Learning by doing means that everything we do is hands-on. Girls will remember more of what they learned and have more fun if they're doing it themselves rather than watching a parent or a friend have all the fun. Sometimes learning by doing activities can get messy, but that's okay. Just plan enough time for cleanup, and that can be a hands-on activity for girls too. Cooperative learning means girls are learning together, in small groups, as an entire group, or just with a friend. No one wants to go it alone, and there's tons of fun to be had with friends. Plus, they'll be practicing teamwork, communication, and collaboration, which are all important life skills. Kindergarten and first grade, about ages 5 and 6, are an exciting time for girls. Getting to know common characteristics of girls this age will help you understand them and create a welcoming environment. Daisies have lots of energy. They need help with many tasks. They're silly and they like to sing and dance. They need help with fine motor skills. And they need instructions one at a time, but they're excited about everything. In your participant guide, you'll find a list of additional tips and tricks to ensure that your meeting time with Daisies is successful and a fun, safe environment for everyone. For every meeting, it's a good idea to prepare a startup activity for girls to participate in as they arrive. It should be something that they can start and stop at any time, so girls can arrive at different times and stop the activity when it's time to start the meeting. The activity should be simple enough that girls can jump in at any time without formal instructions. Girls can participate in the activity individually or in small groups. The startup activity is even more effective if it aligns with the theme of the meeting. We'll discuss simple ceremonies next. You might decide to include one or more of these in your upcoming troop meetings. The opening focuses the meeting and allows girls to start the meeting. Each troop decides how to open their own meeting. Most begin with the Girl Scout Promise and Law, and then add a simple flag ceremony, song, game, story, or other ceremony designed by the girls. An investiture welcomes new members, both girls and adults, into the Girl Scout family for the first time. Girls receive their Girl Scout Daisy pin during this ceremony. When girls end first grade, they will bridge from Daisies to Brownies. Bridging is an important transition in a Girl Scout's life. It's a defining moment when a girl becomes aware of her achievements and is ready for new adventures and responsibilities. You'll want to complete the steps to earn the Bridging Award, read the Brownie story, and collaborate with girls and families to plan a bridging ceremony. Representing the unbroken chain of friendship among Girl Scouts and Girl Guides around the world, the Friendship Circle involves girls standing in a circle, crossing their right arm over their left, and clasping hands with their friends on both sides. Everyone then makes a silent wish as a friendship squeeze is passed from hand to hand around the circle. You will have these ceremony details in your participant packet for future reference. Many troops employ a democratic system of governances so that all members have the opportunity to express their interests and feelings and share in the planning and coordination of activities. Girls partner with you and other volunteers, and you facilitate, act as a sounding board, and ask and answer questions. Girls from Daisies through ambassadors will gain confidence and leadership skills when given the opportunity to lead their activities, learn cooperatively as a group, and learn by doing instead of observing. For Daisies, the process is very simple. We use what's called a Daisy circle. When sitting in a circle, girls create a formal group decision-making body. The circle is an organized time for girls to express their ideas and talk about activities they enjoy, and you play an active role in facilitating discussion and helping them plan. Girls often vote to finalize their decisions. If girls are talking over each other, consider passing an object, such as a talking stick, that entitles one girl to speak at a time. Cleanup is a great habit for girls to get their meeting space back to the way it was when they arrived, or maybe even cleaner. Girls can take leadership of the cleaning themselves, deciding who does what with a caper chart, which is similar to a chore chart, but in Girl Scouts, we call it a caper. Prepare and post a chart that shows which girls are helping with particular tasks, such as opening ceremonies, snacks, supplies, and cleanup. These tasks are called capers, and the chart is called a caper chart. The caper chart is essentially a job chart. This system allows girls to volunteer for responsibilities and then to alternate their tasks for each meeting. Individual girls gain a sense of ownership and responsibility for their individual task, but together, the group accomplishes what needs to be done, encouraging teamwork. There are several examples here for you to consider, from something very simple, like a laminated piece of paper, to much more elaborate designs. When you're ready to start planning your first field trip, there are a few resources you'll want to reference in your planning process. Refer to Volunteer Essentials for transportation guidelines and travel progression. Refer to safety activity checkpoints prior to planning your trips, as some activities are allowed only with written council pre-approval. We'll talk more about safety activity checkpoints in just a moment. Refer to the Troop Trip Planning Guide for additional resources and guidelines. Forms that you may need for field trips include health histories and permission slips. All of these resources and forms can be found on our website at comgirlscouts.org. The safety and well-being of girl and adult members is our highest priority. As a volunteer, it is imperative to know and understand the safety policies and procedures in place, where to look or who to ask for more information when necessary. Safety activity checkpoints are activity-specific safety guidelines for activities like camping, participating in a parade, and even the fall product and cookie programs. You can find safety activity checkpoints on our website under Volunteer Resources, under Forms, or in the Volunteer Toolkit Resources tab. Be sure to check minimum age and level guidelines carefully. There are some activities in which Daisies cannot participate, such as archery, for example. In your participant guide, you'll find information about additional resources for troop leaders. Our help desk email is gshelper@comgirlscouts.org, and you can also see the phone number here. Please email or call with any Girl Scout questions that you have. We're here to help. We're almost at the end of your training. Please remember to submit the training completion form after you've finished the training video. A link to the form can be found on the online training page near the video and resources. We're out of time today, but you're not finished learning about Girl Scouts. As a Daisy troop leader, you'll be learning alongside your girls every step of the way. Plus, you have wonderful resources to support you: your troop support team, other leaders in your service unit, your community engagement manager, and the help desk at gshelper@commgirlscouts.org. Feel free to reach out with any questions you have. This concludes your Daisy Program Basics training video. Thank you for participating.